And we're live. What's going on, everyone? It's episode 50 with Live with Kenny. Today's episode, I think I want to focus on more cultural issues. I'll still be talking about a little bit about politics. Also thank you for all the support you guys have been giving me for my little transition. I'm still trying to figure out how to best manage my time. But let's get into this story. So recently, a couple days ago, I believe, Fresh and Fit, I believe his name's Walter. I forgot his name. Walter from Fresh and Fit apparently is in some like dispute right now with an alleged woman. Because I say all this is alleged because right now I'm trying to stream watching right now that they're supposed to be confronting some of the allegations that's been going on against the so-called Fresh and Fit crew. So in this video, sorry, I'm saying a lot of ums today. I'm still trying to like wrap my head around how exactly I'm going to talk about this. But I want to give an overview of this is kind of some of the things I was talking about on my red pill videos. Like whenever I react to the red pill, I always put this caution about it that in a way it opens up many men to end of the day, it's a trade-off. You go around sleeping with a bunch of women that aren't your wives or not your long-term relationships, you're bound to get caught up. And I akin the red pill similar to how the black community currently is. Single moms, 70%. This lifestyle is not going to be conducive to a cohesive society, right? And one of the, I guess, trade-offs you are making when you're following the red pill prescription is you open yourself up for things like this to happen. That's all I'm saying. It's just a warning. And I also said there's a conflict of interest with the red pill. They have no incentive to actually address some of the problems that they but they speak out against. Right, how women are, it's an unregulated sexual marketplace, right? This is some of the terminologies they use. How 80% of the women are only chasing 20% of the men. But if you're in that 20%, it's like, the spoils of war. You can have any woman you want. You could pick your flavor, Asian, white. You can have your way with these women. And if Red Pill actually fix and address the problems that they complain about, in a way they lose out on that sexual accessibility that they have. So in a way, there's a conflict of interest with the red pill to actually solve a lot of the feminism, the fracturing of the family, because their lifestyle in of itself creates more, self-perpetuating cycle, right? If you had a wife that's been with a top 20% men, your success for marriage is also going down because it's also being inadvertently affected by these top 20% men. And that's all I'm trying to say. Right, so let's listen more into the drama, and I'm still watching the stream. I want to, give Fresh his opportunity to kind of push back against this, allegations. But let's take a dive into some of the drama.
Of trouble, and you guys are about to see the best advertisement for condoms that have ever existed in the history of mankind. Why is it that I'm saying this? Well, the lovely, young, well-endowed young woman who got her viscous innards entered and rearranged by the one and only Fresh Prince CEO has been doing a podcast tour, which unto we can hear her speak in long form so we can officially dissect the type of woman that he left nothing but the nuts hanging out of. Shout out to the Hodge twins. We're going to go over this content right here. And then also, quick shout out to Destiny, who I've been critical on this channel before, specific to his divorce and the lifestyle that he lived. Nevertheless, Destiny had the opportunity to grill this lovely young lady, and it was a train wreck. Without further ado, so with this,
I forgot I was muted. Yeah, so shout out to him. I'm kind of going to skip through it a little bit. He gave a good synopsis about like what you guys are going to go into. I'm skipping just around just a little bit so that way we can get in just to Destiny really critiquing her. And I agree with Destiny on his take here is that he kind of exposed her motives for this stuff. And this kind of highlights a bigger problem too in our society that I always talk about how it's part of toxic black culture. Like this is kind of it, right? Women like actively choosing to be single moms, right? Knowing that the fathers don't want to be in the life, right? And using their child almost like a pawn to extort more money or other things out of the potential father of the child. Now, some of the things I'm kind of front loading this because, obviously I don't want to get copyrighted, but also I want to give you my thoughts is that I think one of the ways that Fresh might attack this, allegations against them is denying that the baby's his. Simple as that. Like, end of the day, you wasn't in a relationship with this girl. But see, this is the kind of lifestyle that Red Pill kind of opens you up to. And I think a lifestyle, and this biggest advertisement of condoms, I still think it wouldn't even do anything. Because dudes would be like, it ain't me. Right? Because end of the day, Red Pill is used as a proxy to justify hedonism, right? Because there's no moral basis of, there's no morality in Red Pill. Red Pillers themselves admit this. There's no morality. It's just, here's the information. You choose what to do with it. Here's the information. Fresh still got caught up. Because end of the day, you can't control what the other person is doing, how the other person reacts, and you don't have much recourse. Now, look, his brand is taking a bad hit. People already didn't like Fresh from Fresh and Fit. These dudes are 40 minutes late because they started their stream was supposed to start 7. Now it's like 7:40. They still haven't started. But I want to give her side of the story, and soon we should hear Fresh side of the story because it seems like they're about to boot up right now. But let's take a quick look at how you can already see what kind of angle she's going with on this commentary. Let's go.
He's getting ready to get off mute here in a quick second. Let's listen.
We have deep conversations when we meet, when we're in person. He makes me feel like he was really serious with me. He always tests me, ask me questions.
Like what, if you don't mind me asking?
Like, what do you want from a man in the future? Like, what do you want?
He was asking, actually, you know what he was doing? See, men do this where they want to know what kind of character they need to play.
And this is nothing new, right? Men, they say women like what men like what they see, women like what they hear, right? And it goes back to, this is why I say, protecting women's ego kind of hurts them in the long run. Because when women can't take criticism, they're easily manipulated into someone that feeds into their ego, right? That's what, selling a dream is. And this is one of the main tenets I did not like about some of the Red Pill, because Red Pill could come across very Machiavellian about how they go about achieving sexual abundance, right? Because that's what the Red Pill says. The Red Pill says if you want a sexual abundance, hey, you want to have the option to find a good woman, you must become a top tier man. But once you have that leverage, and this is where the morality piece comes, this is why I said Red Pill is as destructive to society, to our social fabric, as feminism, because in a way, you're giving so much leverage to an individual that they're sitting here misrepresenting their intentions to this woman. And I think this is one of the reasons, this is one of the ways I think Fresh is getting a black eye on this issue, is because she put out his messages out there as well. All right. But I'm really want to focus on the critique that Destiny has, because this is one of the few things that I can agree with Destiny on principle. Hey, you're not caring about the child. You can tell she's not caring about the child. This could all be handled behind closed doors, but why she chose to put it out in the open in the first place? Trying to mask her behavior. But I digress. I think I ramble too much.
In your life, and they want to know the script. So you told him.
He knows what I want.
Yeah, because you told him, girlfriend. You told him. You didn't keep nothing secret.
Okay, wait. Everybody says I'm with him for his money. But look,
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. No.
She's already defensive about the money point, but as you see, if you're going to see in the video, I do feel like there's a gender hustler. I agree. Yes, they are gender. And a day, good comment, Matthew M. I appreciate that comment. It is a gender hustle, right? Just like race hustlers, just like now the Daily Wire, Jewish hustlers. There's people who niche themselves in a certain thing and only look at things from their race or their people's point of view. It's the same critique I give race hustlers, is that, hey, if black people only care about their interests, if every other person care about their interests, we'll have a divided country. That's what it is. Like I always say in this channel, identity politics was the worst thing to ever happen in our culture, in our society, because it divvied up everybody based on immutable traits. No matter what you do, you're always going to be a man. Even if you cut off your penis, and even if you present yourself as a woman, you're still a man. That will never change. And we're creating drawing lines. I don't think tribalism is inherently bad, but I think tribalism is more effective when it's based on ideology, not on immutable traits. And the Red Pill, and in a way, Red Pill has its place. Red Pill, yes, it exposes a lot of the ills of society, but it doesn't offer any solutions. It's just merely criticism. Oh, divorce laws are unpopular. Okay, conservatives are trying to make steps to fix it. Oh, that's never gonna happen, right? When these red pillars are presented with a solution, they end up going on to this defeatist, like, oh, it'll never happen. Like this happened fast too. No, feminism, for it to get the levels of power it got today, to get all the laws instituted, the removing no fault divorce and all that stuff, it was incremental steps. And to fix it, it'll take incremental steps. But I digress. Let's continue because we still haven't heard Destiny talk yet.
No. I didn't say that. The reason I know you.
I don't care about money. I never said I don't, because I on the show I even said, they were asking me how much money do you think a man should make for a year? I told them $1 million.
And then one thing too is that, I did videos on the unrealistic beauty standards, and I say women do it to themselves because women compete on beauty amongst themselves. They wear makeup almost mostly for themselves against each other as competition because they like attention. Right? So when they try to push this idea, oh, men are pushing unrealistic beauty standards. No, it's not. It's your own vanity that's pushing you to do these things. Because you see, oh, girls like this, what's her name? Daisy. I don't know how to say her name. Daisy, they get a lot of attention on social media. She got 1,000 likes. If I look more like her, I can get the same level of validation. That's the reality. This is why a lot of these women, young, are getting work done, getting Botox done. You've seen the videos on TikTok. Gen Z women are looking older than they actually are because of the fact that young women are doing work on themselves a lot earlier than women in the past generation. Self-fulfilling cycle. This is not going to be a one side like, oh, I'm going to blame women, I'm going to blame men. I'm going to blame society, I'm going to blame culture. But I do believe that women have a bigger part to play in the interaction. Because end of the day, they're pushing sex. End of the day, they're participating in hookup culture. It's the chicken and the egg problem, but I'm holding everyone accountable the same. Right? I watched Kevin Samuels before. Kevin Samuels had videos where he criticized just men. His channel didn't grow. He didn't get any attention. The moment he put that same level of criticism on women, that's when he blew up. That's when he became viral. That's when people wanted to pay attention to him. Because he gave the same level of energy of critiquing men to the women. And the women couldn't handle it. That's what I noticed. Liberal women don't like criticism. And it seems like women in general don't like criticism. And it's fine. I understand they're emotional people. They're not self-centered. They're subjective. They view things from a very subjective lens. They're more prone to negative emotion. I understand that. But I think the problem in our society is that we don't build women up. We don't hold women to the same standards we hold men. And this is why women in our society are less resilient to criticism, to pressure. This is why they fall into peer pressure. Because they want to be liked. They want to be validated. Because we have conditioned women to seek validation instead of truth, instead of honor, instead of integrity, instead of principles. And this is why they end up worshiping money and materialism. No one can say we don't live in a hedonistic culture. Fresh and Fit finally started their live stream. So I want to give this video 4 minutes and I'll be monitoring what's going on. So let's continue.
$1, and that's my standards. He knows my standards.
Yo, imagine saying in one sentence, money doesn't matter to me. I'm not with him for money. But my requirement for a man is to make $1 million. You're beginning to see the ridiculousness that engulfs this young woman's mind. By the way, some additional context as well. Tree of Logic, what up, Tree? She actually hates Fresh and Fit. And I think what Tree is doing is playing good cop to inevitably, which will be Destiny's bad cop, which I think is a fantastic tactic here in order, because she's obviously up here, Daisy. She's obviously up here to continue to expose, to get clout, right? Irrespective of Fresh actually fucking up. I actually think there's two people who were fucked up in this situation. I think it's both Fresh and I think Daisy is fucked up as well. You're getting ready to see that here in a quick second. But pay attention when Destiny comes in like a wrecking ball. Let's go.
Daisy, the reason I know you're not for money is because you went 50-50 on that bracelet. Okay.
Yes,
a woman
did.
who was for money would never go 50-50 on that bracelet.
And I bought my own ticket to Miami. First time I went to I bought my own ticket. And I know he buys ticket for other girls, but I never asked him like,
yeah, I'm about to
can
skip
you buy
this
me a
real
ticket?
quick.
For me, that's like so.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get to where Destiny really questions her, because right now they're doing good cop, bad cop. I don't know what they're trying to do here, but let's see.
Buy these bank leaves all the time. I have an account. I always know. Like, when the moment I got
Fresh, you a nasty bastard. You buying Van Cleef fake what? From
Yeah.
Shein? Is that what you're doing?
She
Fresh?
complaining about fake
He's a
jewelry.
nasty bastard.
the bracelet, I'm like, this is fake. But I didn't tell him immediately. I told him 2 days later. And he was acting like
Fresh
he
don't
didn't
give
know.
a shit.
Wait,
For
can I
sure
ask
he knows.
I'm just curious. Can I ask a question about for the kid? If Walter apologized for everything and came clean on everything, wouldn't you want him to be involved in like your child's life?
Good question. Pause.
But why would you care about that?
Oh, pay attention.
Because raising your kid in a single mother household disproportionately affects them and primes them, conditions them, sets them up to be more likely to be a criminal, drop out of school, right? Live in poverty, right? No matter how much money you make or how much money you'll get from Fresh, you're gonna be by yourself and you're gonna be the only influence on your kid. And this is another downside of how we don't hold women accountable, or we don't hold women to the same standards we hold men. If we grew up in a community, 70% of them are raised by women, and these guys become terrors on society, teen takeovers, no one's holding them accountable. No one points the finger at the single moms. Don't know why. Because of this culture of protecting women. Something's going on with Angel Reese. Same concept. She's a black woman. She's supposed to be strong and independent, but minute things don't go her way, minute she hits any obstacles, minute she hits any setbacks, she cry in a river playing victim, and everyone has to come to her rescue. Like women, this is why I'm saying you have to pick your struggle. You want equality, you got to take the absolute good and the bad. If you want special treatment, you got to take the good and the bad. Is this lack of understanding about trade-offs is what's really hurting our culture?
What do you mean? Well, because he's the most important person that we're talking about right now, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
but why do you care about he's gonna be a part of my baby's life?
Well, it's not just your babies; it's both of your babies, right? And doesn't the child
but,
deserve a father
he
if
doesn't-
wants to be involved?
Yeah. It's both of our baby, but he's not acting like a man. So, do you think he has a right to see the baby?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think you have a right to child support?
Oh. See, look. Sometimes when Destiny goes sassy, I don't like it because I'm like, oh, it's not fruitful. But when it's on the funny, when it's on the facts, when it's on the evidence, spot on. Yes. How you expect child support, but then you don't want him to have any involvement in the child? And this has been something that's been going on. I'm personally familiar with it. This is what happens in the black community too. There's women out here that they want child support. They want primary custody of their child, as you see with Steven Crowder. No one questions the woman's motive for wanting full custody of her child, but they want to paint the man as a monster, deadbeat dad. It's the same game. Like literally what's happening to Fresh happens to a lot of single fathers in the black community, right? They get demonized. Women can put some type of narrative around them, fair or unfair. People are quick to believe something negative about the man, but the minute there's something negative about the woman, people, we got to wait for all the information to come out. And this is kind of the double standards that Red Pill points out justly, just like feminism pointed out some inequalities about opportunity as well. But this idea that the woman gets to decide parentage of the child just because it lives in her body, even though they like to use the argument, it takes two to make a baby, but it doesn't take two to make a decision on whether the child gets to live or die. This situation also exposed another thing that I've been talking a lot about abortion. A lot of women want to defend abortion to the day they die. A lot of pro-choicers overwhelmingly benefits men. They don't talk about the instances of where men are pressuring women to get abortions because women feel like they have no support. And this is what she's doing right now. She's looking for support. She's looking for someone to back her up. She's looking for people to corral around her. This is why she's putting all his business out there in the open. Fresh doesn't want to take responsibility for it. And this is where like the idealistic morality of me comes out. That I say, oh, you did the do, you did the action. Take responsibility for that kid if it's yours. That's the first angle of denial I think Fresh is going to go. It's not my kid. Y'all quick to believe hoes, which is a valid argument in my observation. We're quick to believe women, but at the same time we're like, oh, don't believe all women, right? Like make it make sense. And even though I don't like what Fresh is doing, I still believe, innocent until proven guilty. Hey, I haven't heard fresh side of the story. I'm not just going to sit here and believe what she wants. But she doesn't portray herself pretty good here either. And she gets justly called out by Destiny. I digress.
Destiny is officially on his red pill arc. Fantastic question. Let's see what the gold digger says to this.
I mean, he doesn't need to. That's fine.
Well, you said
'Cause I
the
don't
U.S.
care
government
about
said he had to pay, but the U.S. government is also going to make you share custody with him too, right? Whether you want to or not, unless you have a
Yeah, that's
compelling
what
reason
I'm
not to.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I will let what government decide to do. If they decide that, okay, my child have to see him, then that's fine. But if the government says, okay, my baby doesn't need to see him, then that's not unnecessary.
Well, it's going to be necessary because here in Florida, Ron DeSantis, this is my another angle of problems I have sometimes with red pillars is that they don't want to acknowledge the avenues that Republicans and conservatives try to do to make society a lot more fairer for men, right? Ron DeSantis recently passed a bill in Florida. I think it came into effect this year, I think, where fathers have rights to their child regardless of marital status. It used to be before in Florida that when you had a child with a woman outside of marriage, you had no rights to the child. But now in Florida, Ron DeSantis passed a bill that gave fathers parental rights over their child regardless of marital status. So Fresh technically does have a right to his child. So she can't determine that. Just a little, political note, because this is a political channel. I bring it to a political and social perspective. But she can't make that decision on her own. But you see how I don't know. I just think we have given women so much power that it's almost corrupting them. This is like rights to see a child has almost become somewhat of not a privilege, but almost so much of a superpower that women know they have and they use and abuse it. But I digress.
What shouldn't the priority be to build a healthy life for your future child? Shouldn't that be the focus? How do you make sure your child has a father that wants to spend time with him and be involved in his life, and has a mother?
Look, his father doesn't want him.
He just found out that you're pregnant, right? I mean, he's probably freaking the fuck out. I imagine he probably isn't ready to be a dad or doesn't necessarily want to right now. But why close the door on that?
I am not closing it. I'm just saying.
And my kids are going crazy in the background. The reason why most men, and this is a stereotype that's associated with black men, and it's justly so, because women the reason why I'm so skeptical of the red pill is that I've seen what happens to a culture that doesn't have any sexual discipline. I see what happens to it. It destroys and decays. And this is the kind of the negatives that's associated with the red pill. This is the con of red pill. It's pushing men to have 50 bodies. Oh, 50 bodies, what? Black men, that's been black men's kind of stereotypical role in the culture, right? Get a bunch of women pregnant, have a bunch of sex everywhere. Your manhood is associated with how much bodies you have. This is the same concept that's kind of coming up in the red pill too. And the red pill outwardly pushes that, glamorizes that in the same way. The same critique, my critique is the same as for rap music. Hey, you're perpetrating this in the culture. You're politicizing this in the culture. You're trying to make the youth strive for this. Because the red pill is not going to really affect people like me who's 27, got our lives going on. It's my kids coming up. It's the young boy. You see Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate has a lot of influence over the youth of young men, especially in the UK. Now, to me, Andrew Tate represents almost a redemption arc. He's trying to make his life better, right? He converted to Islam. He found some faith that he's trying to live up to now. So I feel like he's less bad on the youth compared to the Fresh and Fits of the world, right? Because Fresh and Fit, they're not pushing any morality. They're pushing more of a Machiavellian, hey, you want to be the top percentage of men so you can have fun with these hoes, so you can have power and leverage. And what guides power? What guides rationale? What guides power? Your reasoning, your principles, your morality. You're not giving that to the kids. It's like, oh, here's all. I want you to seek power, man, so you could have the leverage and you could decide what you want to do with it. But I know most of society is not ready for that kind of power. Look at women. Women have sole power of whether a child gets to live or die, and look how they abuse it. Look how they use it. They're pro-choice until they get pregnant by a rich man. It's a means to an end. I digress though. I think I'm making too many arguments. So let's hear what Destiny has to say.
Saying, based on his behavior right now.
You guys gotta understand that what she's doing is trying to punish Fresh. Fresh absolutely fucked up in this situation. He should not have been splashing raw daddy in a woman that thinks like this. But you gotta also understand that she's a garbage thinker of a person. It's not about the welfare of the child. It's not about.
This is why they teach you to have sex, not to have sex before marriage. Also, is because you know how contaminating having sexual intercourse with a woman is, right? You get wrapped up in lust, right? This is why I think if you look at the stats, arranged marriage have a higher success rate than traditional marriage and modern marriages. Why? Because arranged marriage is, hey, these people kind of got filtered by your family and they share similar values, similar principles, similar worldview to you. And you just have to pick the most attractive one based on meeting parties, based on, oh, I like this one. I'll be interested in meet him. And it works. Like, imagine that. Dating through your social circle is more effective than going on a Tinder, Bumble, what other ones there out there? Give me Binge. It's more, yo, I'm telling you, because social circles inherently filters out people who are in your like worldview almost. If you live in a community, you live around people who are in the same social economic class as you. That means people in your neighborhood will make better dating partners for you than you going out, meet somebody, and then they could put on a facade. While in a social circle, you probably know people know this person. Oh, I knew her since she was a kid. Oh, how was she? How is she? This is why arranged marriage have a higher success rate. If you look, like, that's how courtship used to work. Because when you eliminate sex, marriage, relationships become purely a logical decision. For fun, if you want excitement, you date somebody that don't view the world the same way as you. The fights, the struggle sessions, the hate, you know, the ups and downs, the emotional roller coasters you go through when you're talking with somebody or you're dating somebody of a different ideology than you. Exciting, but it's not lasting. It's fleeting. This is why marriages don't last long as much as possible. Now you got people blaming birth control as well. Now we got the whole birth control debate too. Charlie Kirk spoke on birth control. Now a certain conservative woman is mad that, oh, I brought up the birth control issue first. When did Charlie Kirk take up birth control? See, this is what I'm talking about. Identity politics is killing us. We can't even have discussions unless you're part of the proper identity. Make it make sense. But this speaks to like how we're not a cohesive culture anymore. We're literally in a gender war, race war, ideological war. There's nothing unifying people anymore. People just see each other as these little tribes and they're jockeying for power. Right now, this girl's trying to jockey for power because she knows, oh, Fresh Plate got a platform. They can speak. Let me put his business out here. Let me record my calls with him to try to paint him in a negative light. And I'm glad that people slowly are not going for it anymore. And we're holding women accountable because I think women will be better for it. Coddling women, protecting them from criticism, not holding them to the same standards we hold men is actually doing women a detriment to their development. Because a lot of these women, they're acting like almost teenagers in a way. How they view the world, I'm an 8, even though I'm 300 pounds, I'm an 8. Not living in reality, still acting childish. This is why. Because we coddled women. In a way, we coddle women. We don't like to hurt their feelings. And I think this is why fathers are important to the development of children. Because fathers talk direct. Fathers hold you accountable for the most part. If you have a weak father, I'm sorry for you. But most men, they want their kids to live in reality. You're not the best. You're not getting playing time because you're not good. Period. Simple.
Having a father in the child's life. It's whatever she can do to leverage the laws in the system to extract as much money out of him while also not allowing Fresh to see the baby.
But if he
Look,
changes his
why
behavior
do
in the
you
future,
speak for him? Why do you speak for him? Because clearly he's acting like an idiot on the show.
well,
Even right now.
you're both acting like idiots, right? To be fair, right? You got
What am I
pregnant with
acting?
Because you got pregnant by a guy that doesn't want to marry you.
Right.
You're just as dumb as he is, right?
Right.
The problem
Takes two
isn't
to
with either
tango.
of you, though. That shouldn't be the main concern. The main concern should be the child, right?
He's not concerning about the child. I am. That's why I went on an adult conversation. So don't
You're
you
leaking DMs on
speak
Instagram.
for
How are you?
him.
You don't care. You're not caring. The child right now is just a money ticket for you. You're not caring at all about the child. Why are you leaking
What is
all
the
of this
money?
publicly?
What
The money is the
what is
child
the
support that
money?
you think that you were talking about earlier. That you're very
Who are
familiar that the
you?
U.S.
Who
laws.
are you? I'm here because I got invited from the owner. Who are you? If you're not owner, don't speak to me.
Uh-oh.
Because you have no right to talk about my situation. It's not
You're
even
literally
about
on the
money.
internet talking about your situation everywhere. What do you mean?
I'm talking about the situation. It's not about money. What do you know about anything?
What do I? Apparently more than you
Do you
do.
think
I'm not getting
I'm
knocked
like-
up by Fresh from Fresh and Fit. What do you? You're trying to act like you're the one with all the
Who are
experience
you?
here.
Who are you? How do you have the
So you see how defensive she got just from like a slight bit of criticism? And this is the kind of dancing around women that a lot of society does. Matthew M says, imagine dating apps where your parents or friends pick a good match for you. Haha. I honestly, that'll probably be more successful. That should be an experiment, because many people get like kind of, I guess, mad about this idea that, oh, your parents and your friends probably can pick a better partner than you can do for yourself in a way. And it's not about them picking someone who you be romantically involved with or you're attracted to, because end of the day, you know what you're attracted to. But friends and family are better able to filter out people who are not like an ideological or cultural fit. You get me? Because someone can be attractive, but they may not be a cultural fit. Because end of the day, when your emotions are involved, you're in the situation, it's hard for you to make an objective assessment on your partner. That's why you lean on your parents. This is why it's traditional to ask for the father's blessing, because the father, end of the day, the father's going to be the biggest scrutiner of the partner for the father. The mom usually baits out the girl trying to say, I don't like this girl. Oh, she don't bring you food to the table. Don't keep her. Right? The mom kind of evaluates the girlfriend, and the dad evaluates the boyfriend to a degree. Because the dad is going to be like, I'm going to look for some red flags. Oh, man, he ain't, I don't like him. That shows, hey, like, they don't share the same values, or they don't see the world the same way. All I'm saying is, if you want a long-term relationship, it's better that you have the same kind of perspective on priority problems. Like, find your priority list and make sure your partner had at least maybe 70% the same way on these things. Slight deviation is fine. Like, you can have like a different slight take on certain things, but for the most part, you guys got to be pointing on the same direction. That's what I noticed to be like successful long-term relationships. That's just what I observe, right? If you're Christian, better chance you date another Christian. Facts. That needs to be a show or something. Bro, that's TV right there. That's why a part of me wish that if I was big enough, I'll do like a Mr. Beast type. You know how Mr. Beast do his little show experiments, like how many socks can you fit into this container, and whoever can fit the most socks in this container will get $1,000 or $100,000, right? I want to do a show like that. Hey, here's a dating show. Hey, here's a partner your mom picked for you, right? Here's a partner you picked for yourself. Go on a date, see how it goes, right? And end of the day, I don't know where I was going with this idea, but the stats show it. The results show it for itself already. If you look at the stats, arranged marriage, I think they have a success rate of 86%. Arranged marriage, traditional marriage is like 51%, and modern marriage is like in the 40s, if I remember correctly. I digress. I'm just saying, like, data may not prove a narrative, but the results are in, and it seems like arranged marriage. It seems like your parents know more your flavor than you do. I'm just saying, because emotions come into play, and when emotions come into play, you make irrational decisions, like getting knocked up by a guy that's not your husband, that wasn't even your boyfriend, and you were most likely just a side piece. Make it make sense.
rights to talk about this? Like talking about a man
because I'm older than you. I've got more life experience than you. I'm the only one that.
And me, so you have more rights.
No, apparently I'm just curious. It seems like you have like all of this.
I don't want to talk to you right now.
Look at.
Okay, so Daisy,
I don't want to talk to you.
let me
Okay. Dusty's gonna take a break for a little bit.
I am. I'll take out. This woman is a fucking piece of trash, though. She's ruining this kid's life because she
You
just
are
wants to
a
milk
fucking
this guy for
trash.
money. You're actually subhuman filth. Just letting you know that. Good luck. Bye.
You can say whatever you want.
I will judge you.
You can
gotta
say
judge-
whatever you want.
Destiny don't even believe in God, but God is gonna judge her.
Okay.
That's
So,
very mean.
Oh, who is that?
Daisy.
That
So,
guy is very mean.
So
The
Destiny
guy's
ends
very
up
mean.
leaving.
See, this is kind of commentary we deal with. This guy is very mean, bro. You did not hear what he said. Like, this girl literally is using the kid as a pawn to extort Fresh for money, hurt his image, right? Essentially, weapon. Like, this can't be good for the kid, right? And this is a lot of like how a lot of the single mother terrorist situation happens. This is how a lot of fathers get alienated from their child. Right? No one wants to talk about those negative side effects of single mother households. We sit here supposed to glamorize this stuff on Mother's Day. Oh my God, I had to be mother and father. Right? On Father's Day, it's almost, people almost try to shame you not to celebrate it. Because it makes, fathers don't do nothing for the child. The child just want mama. It's so ridiculous how it's almost everything almost come across like a competition. All right. And I think I want to end it there. Fresh Fit are about to start their thing. So I'm going to go surf the web just a bit to find out. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a bonanza right now. I'm pretty sure they're like, because they had a lawyer on and I didn't want to go in with the lawyer. I was like, why do they have a lawyer there or something? I don't know. But yeah, it's not a good look for Fresh, man. Damn, they still got the lawyer here. This is crazy. So I don't know what Fresh, how Fresh is gonna exactly rebut this. Maybe I'll just do a video later. Let me. It's your call in this chat. But I want to kind of get back to politics. So because I want to take a break from this whole Fresh situation because the culture war stuff can wait. Like this is kind of so important. So I want to kind of focus on bad ideas. Not bad ideas. Sorry. Israel's losing the PR war, right? Trump twice declined to say he stands with 100% with Israel. April 4th, the winds are coming, right? And that's one thing I think Trump warned about earlier with Israel is the fact that if they don't, they got to do it quickly. They got to do it quickly. And I agree with them. They do have to do it quickly, right? That's not what I asked for. Show like this dude, I don't know how to say it, Netanyahu. He's demanding the U.S. He's demanding. Who are you to demand? He's demanding the U.S. to give weapons to Israel more quickly. Give us the tools faster. I thought you could take care of yourself, Israel. See, this is where the American first come out to me. Like, we had to be able to take care of our own house. People are here trying to make ideas. Oh, we need to be global watchdogs. We need to protect NATO. Do I have to go to my spiel against why I don't support NATO? We contribute more money than any other country, yet we're the least at risk of being invaded by Russia. Why? For some globalist dream, right? Like, these same people will be mad about colonialism, imperialism, but in a way we're participating like an imperialistic empire. We want to expand our reach. We want to expand democracy. We want to expand our way of life on other countries. That's the better framing of it. Our politicians are using foreign aid as a money laundering scheme, my opinion. Money laundering scheme because all of a sudden, oops, we lost track of 61% of the money. Where did it all go? We don't know. In Ukraine, 5 officials got arrested for embezzling funds from the government. I don't know where that money go. Oh, like this other interest that's kind of bleeding into this foreign aid or this fervor for our government to get involved in other people's business. I don't understand. I don't comprehend. Right? But Netanyahu out here, he's demanding the U.S. give us the tools faster. No. For what? Benjamin Netanyahu demands on Thursday that the U.S. sends weapons to Israel more quickly during a meeting with House Republicans. You better not do it. Just after 7 aid workers, including an American, was killed by Israel. By targeted airstrikes, 15 House Republicans visited the Netanyahu in a trip sponsored by the U.S. The American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Yo, I'm not going to say something, but look at the lobbyists in Washington and see who's the biggest spenders when it comes to lobbying the government. There's a reason why our politicians like to support Israel so much. And Ron Paul got called an anti-Semite for pointing this out. saying we gave enough money to Israel. And then Israel gave it to Hamas. And then Hamas turned on them. And now we're dealing with the problems of it today. I don't know, man. But no, innocent people getting caught up in these targeted airstrikes. It's not a good optic look for Israel right now. Israel might have to do might have to start reeling back on this stuff. They're taking too long. They're expanding their territory. Sorry, Israel, you took too long. Now, lost support. Now, this is why you see why Jewish people are so sensitive when you start talking about Israel, because they know they're kind of losing the little optics game, especially this whole stuff that's going on with Candace Owens. I think that kind of hurt the Daily Wire's cause even more. Even though Daily Wire just had a good show, I think, from Matt Walsh, which I think could have done well, but because of this other stuff that's going on, the drama that's going on in the background, another person that's hurting their image. I think today's live stream is going to be about how people are hurting their image, how they're hurting their side. Ben Shapiro just hurt his whole image, right? People don't see him as a America First or America Line. They see Ben Shapiro as establishment, and in extension, they see Daily Wire as establishment. Right or wrong, that is the perception that's going on right now. Just like right now, Fresh and Fit and the Red Pill are taking a black eye. Oh, Red Pill's pushing this degeneracy. Then the Red Pills play, oh, we're denying it. Then this whole fresh stuff happens. Like today, this week has been if this week hasn't taught anybody, it's about PR. But I digress. Don't worry, we'll circle back and see if Fresh has a valid response. Right now, they're talking to some lawyer guy. I just wanted him to just speak his piece, bro. And then the fucking chat talking about Myra's already going off. All right. This next segment I want to kind of go into is how bad ideas get exposed, right? Bad ideas get exposed when it's tested in reality, right? If you want to know if a theory, if a theory is good, you must test it in reality. And if reality tells you your theory is bad, you must accept that your theory is bad. Minimum wage, liberals. On April 1st, California raised the minimum wage for fast food workers to $20 an hour. That same day, Foster's Freeze went out of business and laid off all 20 employees. You want to know why big corporations support increasing minimum wage? You know why the rich people, the rich bourgeoisie liberals support minimum wage? Because minimum wage acts as a gatekeep against small business owners. Do you know that small businesses are responsible for 60% of the jobs in our economy? If 60% of the jobs in our economy goes out of business because of a bad policy, was that policy good or bad? You make that decision for yourself. But this is one of the reasons why I do not support minimum wage. The owner said that he was crushed, but is unable to sustain the minimum wage hikes as a small business owner. People always sit around and complain about, oh no, big corporations can afford minimum wage. But they forget that the minimum wage applies to all companies, right? And especially that, what's his name? I forgot his name. Gavin Newsom caught some flack because he gave special treatment to some of his donors in California. This is how socialists roll, bro. They give special treatment. They want everyone else to be held accountable. Rules for Diva, not for me. That's a socialist playbook. Mass layoffs and price hacks has already begun, and we aren't even a week in. Imagine that. But you get what you vote for, right? This is what happens when a people lack discipline. This is what happens when a people vote with their emotions instead of voting with rationale and logic. A minimum wage is a good idea. Is good intentions. I've been railing on this concept of well-intended. Oh, it was good. It was done with good intentions. Therefore, it wasn't that bad. No, a result is a result. Your policy created this negative outcome. Your policy is bad. I don't care about your intentions. I don't care how you felt about it. I don't care where you was coming from. Judge the policy by its results. You want minimum wage? This is what's going to happen if you push for minimum wage. Let's roll the video.
We had walked up and those close signs, that was it.
20 employees in Lemoore were let go today because the owner says he could not afford to pay them with that increase. Now employees are upset, saying they were blindsided when coming into work. Fox 26 reporter Sophia Lesios explains why those employees were in disbelief. Sophia, what a surprise.
Yeah, Monty, former employees tell me that at first they thought it was an April Fool's joke, but that quickly changed when their boss handed them their final check.
I was so caught off guard. We had no type of notice, no type of warning even. I mean, the owner had told me Happy Easter.
Employees at Foster Freeze in Lemoore say they're now out of a job.
We had gotten a text in the group chat that we were shutting down, and I completely thought it was an April Fool's joke.
Turns out he wasn't the only one.
Did you guys think that this was an April Fool's joke?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I thought, like, you must be joking. You must be playing with me.
But this was no joke.
By the time I got here, there was people like in uniforms ready to start their day, not knowing that that would be their last check.
Monica Navarro, the former assistant manager, says when she got to the restaurant in the morning, the locks were being changed and employees were handed their final check.
I had walked in and he had just immediately was like, you guys are out of a job. Like, I'm sorry.
While we were there at the Foster Freeze restaurant, owner Lauren Wright was walking out. I tried to get a statement.
I think he's going to take off before we even get a chance to talk to him. Excuse me, Lauren?
But he quickly drove off. Moments later, I gave him a call.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
Yo, like, what's the talk about?
He did not answer, but did send a text saying in part, I couldn't survive the mandated wage increases. Last thing I ever wanted was to close down. But by Friday night, I knew I was most likely not going to be able to stay open, but I didn't want to ruin their Easter Sunday.
Read the rest of the text. Small business can't survive by giving 120% plus minimum wage increase over these last 10 years. We're all more broke than we were 10 years ago, and it's clearly raising minimum wage isn't helping. I am sad to see my employees off, and sad to see Lamar off. This location has been in business for 35 plus years. This is the results of liberal policies. Bad ideas. You test minimum wage in reality. The reality is minimum wage increases unemployment, increases costs for small businesses. You're essentially creating monopolies because the businesses that can't afford this, you're gatekeeping small. Like, this is how you stop people from becoming entrepreneurs. Because imagine trying to start a business in California and already you got to start off paying somebody $20 an hour when you don't have the capacity or the capital to pay someone $20 an hour. And then the same people of the left will complain about monopolies. You guys are creating one. Minimum wage laws create monopolies. Take that to the bank. California is another example of bad policy. This is why I like experimentation, right? Because end of the day, I don't believe in theoretical knowledge because end of the day theories can be questions, but results can't. Results can only be explained. The LA luxury house sales plummeted 70% in its first year since its hated mansion tax was brought in as millionaires choose to live outside the city in Beverly Hills, Malibu, and Santa Monica. Instead, show me the incentives and I'll show you the outcome. Luxury home sales in Los Angeles have been decimated by the so-called mansion tax 1 year since it came into effect. In 1 year, look at these socialists. In 1 year, they say, we want to take 70% we want to put a tax on rich people. Hey, we know what we could do. Let's put a wealth tax. Our creeping up into a wealth tax. Let's put a mansion tax on the people who could afford it. This is how you know government. When they talk about redistribution of wealth, what wealth? Government do not produce anything. Don't make me go on a Javier Milei rant. I already said on this channel that socialism is slavery. I already said, socialists try to treat rich people like slaves and not realizing that rich people are not slaves. Rich people own you. Like, I'm talking about the politicians. Rich people go, oh, you're putting a what tax here? Oh, a mansion tax. Oh, I could live in anywhere I want. A rich person, if you could afford a mansion, you could live in any place you want. What in God's name did LA think? Oh, we're so good that you would buy a mansion regardless of what we put on it. Like, this is oh my God. Show me you're resting on your laurels without telling me you're resting on your laurels. This is why people flee California. And the fact that reality keeps smacking them in the face and they don't realize the problem. They're like, oh, let's try another idea. What? My head hurt, bro. Because insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over. Like, minimum wage has been debunked since the 1980s. There's a New York Times, when New York Times used to make some sense. You know what's the best minimum wage? No minimum wage. New York Times used to have an article like that. Go Google it. Go in the archives, you'll find it. Their headline is, the best minimum wage is no minimum wage. The New York Times. And they made the economic argument for why minimum wage hurts jobs. Since minimum wage has been at $7 an hour, it has increased teenagers' unemployment. Because when you're unskilled, you have no leverage. When you have no skills, your best bet is, hey, I'm trying to gain experience. This is why we have internships. We don't care if you're working slave, because you don't offer any value to anybody. You're young, you're inexperienced. You're not going to pay a 6-year-old millions of dollars to play basketball. You're going to pay the 26-year-old who plays basketball for 10, 20 years. This is where you get into this dilemma where young people have to have 10 years of experience for an entry-level job because you keep raising the minimum wage. When you put in an impractical approach, you'll get an impractical result. But you think these socialists learn? You think these liberals learn? No. Oh, the experts, they got liberal economists trying to make theoretical arguments for this stuff. But every time they implement their theory in reality smacks them in the face and say, hey, you changed the incentive structure. Human beings aren't robots. We should do the human beings aren't robots socialist. We should be doing that because they don't listen. Like it's impractical to me. I think the separation between a conservative and liberal is the conservative understand human nature. You create an incentive structure that you're punishing me for buying a mansion in a location. Common sense tells you what's gonna happen to that location. No one's gonna go buy. If I tell you, hey, there's lions in an area, are you gonna go to the area where the lions are at? No. That's what this mansion tax showed you. But do these people live in reality? No. Liberal Dululu. That's my new slang for them. Liberal Dululu. Liberal Dululu says that we're going to put a mansion tax on you, and then we don't expect no negative effects to happen to the housing market in California. 1 year later, the Measure ULA strategy has seen luxury home sales drop by 68% while raising only 22% of its stated goal. Wow. So you only got 22% of the tax goal. When they say, oh, if we can get the rich to pay taxes, we'll get $16 billion more dollars. That's enough to fund Ukraine, Israel, and fix the border. So the real thing you're complaining about, conservatives, is tax the rich. You need to tax the rich. Conservatives go, how are you going to get that money? How you know the rich is going to work up to their full capacity? How you know the rich is just going to be like, F it, I revoke my American citizenship. You have no entitlements to my tax dollars anymore. Rich people can live anywhere. Like politicians. This is what happened when you let a group of people who has never done anything in the private market trying to make decisions on the private market because they don't understand how private citizens work. Private citizens can be citizens today, gone tomorrow. It's so ridiculous. Like, yeah, we have a discipline problem in our country, in our society, and like what a famous man once said, politics is a downstream of culture. And if we have a culture of people who just think,
like all white people have.
Sorry, my stuff is freezing out. Just like you have people who have this perception that, oh, I can bend my own reality. Reality follows my perception. Perception is reality. These kind of people. They think minimum wage is possible. There's enough money out there for minimum wage. How you know? You don't generate the money. If you don't generate the money, you don't have control over the money. The rich generate 70% of the tax dollars. So if the rich decide, I don't want to pay taxes to America anymore, and they stop being American citizens, what are you going to do? You're going to force the rich? You're going to take the money from them? This is my problem with government. Like put it in reality. Let's play a game. Let's test these ideas. Okay, who's going to pay for the minimum wage? You want the business to pay the minimum wage and not fire people. Make it make sense. It's easy to tell somebody what they're supposed to do when you're not in that situation, when it's not your money. The quickest way to get a socialist to expose themselves as nothing more than a thief, nothing more than a looter, is to demand them to do the very same thing they're demanding other people to do. Oh, redistribute wealth. Okay, why don't you redistribute your wealth? Oh, I'm not making a lot of money. It doesn't matter. The principle is what matters, right? Redistribute your little money. Why you don't pay extra on taxes to make up for the rich? Socialism is based on envy. And when someone calls themselves a socialist, I always think, oh, secretly you're an envious person. I that's what I think, at least. That's just me. So I want to talk about this next segment. As you know, from my thing with Fresh and Fit, we're talking about problems, right? And we have a women problem. Now, it's not all women. It's just a specific group of women that I want to highlight today. It's liberal women. Liberal women, when Malcolm X talked about that white liberals are the most dangerous people in America or in the world, he forgot. He didn't see white liberal women of 2024. White liberal women of 2024 could be the downfall of our society. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, all right? When Pearl Davis go online, she said, I don't want women to have the right to vote. She talking about these women, all right? Not all women. She's talking about these women. But these women get a platform. They get pushed out in society. I don't know why. Right? You know, crazy is entertaining, I guess. But let's get just a little bit. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. Just let's hear what this woman has to say. What this white liberal woman has to say.
Racism brainwashed into them. All males have misogyny brainwashed into them. And any male who claims not to be a misogynist is a misogynist.
So I think it's pretty safe to say at this point that the right has a woman problem. You see, oftentimes in political discourse, we like to talk about, oh, millennials and Gen Z, they're so progressive. But actually, when you look at the gender breakdown, it turns out that no, these two generations as a whole are not super progressive. It's really just young women who are super progressive. As this
and who pushes it on them. And this is what I'm saying. This is what the school system is doing. When the socialists told you, right? Famous socialists have been saying it for years. He who has the children has the future. Who's more in school? Women are. Women are in college at a disproportional rate compared to men. Men are more likely to go to the trades, do alternative stuff. Women go to school. Women do well in school. Schools cater their message to women. Is it any surprise that women are coming out more liberal? Gen Z women are coming out more liberal than their male counterparts. Gen Z men trend more conservative than liberal, but if you look at their actual political leanings, Gen Z men are more moderate. They're more in the middle. 44%. No one focuses on that. They just say, oh, Gen Z is becoming more conservative. No. Gen Z men are just more moderate. They're more in the middle. They're like, I can see both sides. I see both sides. The liberal women are just like, crazy. Men and women live on two separate planets politically. Imagine, men are from Venus, women are from Mars. Oh, sorry, I got them mixed up. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Men are from the red planet, women are from the blue planet. From a political point of view. You're mistaking the bad actors of the red pill for all of us. I'm not saying that. Look, I already did my monologue here. My thing is, red pill has no, how I say it, moral. It's not opinionated on what its people should and shouldn't do. It only says, hey, this is the reality of the world. This is human nature, right? That's all red pill cares about. It cares about leverage. It cares about diagnosing the problem. What those people choose to do with their information is their business. Is that not? So in one hand, right, because when people criticize the red pill, they're like, oh, we hate the messaging of the red pill. Red pillers are quick to say, no, they don't represent the red pill. Red pill is a proxyology. It's not an ideology. It doesn't condition people. It doesn't tell people how it should be. It just shows the world as it is, and it's up to you to decide that. So when people saying you're mistaking the bad actors for red pill, I'm going, so are you saying there is a moral basis? There is a core philosophy? And if it's a philosophy, therefore it's an ideology. But the biggest thing for red pill, oh, we're not an ideology, we're a proxyology. We're just telling the world, we just tell the world how it is. It's just the truth. It's not an ideology. We're not pushing anything on people. We're just diagnosing and telling the world this is how it is. So I think Dancing with Incels, you can't make that argument. You can't make that claim that Fresh and Fit are bad actors. They're pushing the red pill philosophy, the diagnosis, the concept. And however they choose to apply it is just. It's just like gentle parenting, right? This is my biggest problem with gentle parenting. Gentle parenting is not opinionated on how you're supposed to address your child. All it says is you have to be gentle. You have to be considerate of your child's feelings. Okay, so it's very intuitive. Red pill is very intuitive. When Fresh hears the red pill message, he's like, okay, so I'm going to get as much money as I can, as much fame as I can, and I'm going to go out and smash hoes. That's valid in the red pill because at the end of the day, you don't have a moral basis. Christianity has a moral basis. Hey, Christians are supposed to do this. Christians are supposed to do that. If you violate that, you're a bad actor. You're not following what's written in the book, what's written in the Bible. Red pill don't have that. So I don't know what you're talking about with bad actors. To me, if you label yourself something and there's no, I guess, test, there's no standard of how you're supposed to be as a red pillar. All the red pill asks is you acknowledge that this is the truth. This is the reality. This is how human nature operates. And that's it. That's it. I think I am for men's rights like it's good as a whole, like taking amount of what's good for all society and not just men. Haha. Exactly. And in a way, men's rights attempted to do something similar to what the red pill is doing, but in a way of, hey, we just want to balance out what the hell is going on here. But feminists, when they were still relevant and they still had institutional power, they demonized these men. They painted these men in a negative light and completely destroyed them because they were on, like, the whole institutions kind of gatekeeped society. And this is one thing I also point out about our society and our knowledge system. Our knowledge system is so flawed that we allow people to be gatekeepers of knowledge, gatekeepers of information, gatekeepers of attention, right? They're trying to keep people from getting attention or hearing ideas that differs from the mainstream. This is literally what Trump kind of exposed about fake news. That we're getting a sanitized message, a sanitized narrative, excluding all the other evidence that kind of contradicts the narrative or the rival they hit at. Oh, men are ruling society. But then when it comes to divorce, it overwhelmingly benefits women. Men are overwhelmingly hurt by child custody laws. Men have to fight for something that women just have to show up for. Full custody, partial custody. If you're not a married man, you get screwed on custody battles for your child. This is the reality that's been men's rights try to highlight. And for that, they got demonized. Actually, I might make a video on this. There was a guy on Fox News. I forgot his name. I think his name was Mark something. I forgot his name. But I remember watching that guy and I said, yo, this guy makes sense. He called out that lady. Oh, how you could claim to be a strong, independent woman when you're taking alimony from your ex-husband. This is the hypocrisy that men's rights had the right of it. It's just they came out too early. Now, red pill are in a stronger, more influential position compared to the men's rights movement. And my argument as a political guy is what you're doing with that influence. Are you giving call to actions? Are you telling your guys, hey, you need to vote for these candidates so they can push for solutions in our culture, in our society? This is the problem with red pill too. Because I say there's a conflict of interest for people who push the red pill. The conflict of interest is if we fix all the problems of red pill no longer has the influence and power that it has today. Men like Fresh and Myron can't sleep around with a different variety of women because there'll be less accessible women for them. They'll still have them. They still get to sleep around, but they won't have as much abundance. So you're asking these people to be almost self-sacrificing in a way. And if I'm looking at red pill correctly, if it's based on human nature's idea is avoid pain, seek pleasure, right? That's why, and this is why I say religion has a valid argument against the red pill, because religion essentially saying is, hey, we have to regulate human nature. And red pill saying, oh, this is just reality. It doesn't matter what morality you put over it. But end of the day, if society don't strive for something, if society don't strive for morality, all we're going to get is chaos. Because that's what the unregulated sexual marketplace has become. You got women trying to home wreck other women's marriage because they want your man. This is what happens when there's a society with no shame, with no morality. Red pill, in a way, it's almost like a liberal idea. That's all I'm saying. I went on a rant because someone came in and questioned me, but that's how I feel about the red pill. I'm just telling you what I think about it. Because as a political person, and this is one thing I think red pillars who are like pro red pill, they miss about like political people. Political people care about society. At the end of the day, if you're pushing a message that really only benefits one identity, it's going to fracture society. And any political person is going to kind of hit at you and say, hey, you need to nuance your message. Hey, society is not necessarily going to be good if we go your way. That's the job of a political figure. So when red pill say, let's not get married, let's abandon society, we're like, yo, you're being too passive. You're just going to let society collapse? Yes. Okay, then don't sit here complain about society if you don't care about it. But it still will affect you. And it will affect future generations. Because I think this is what the battle is about on this internet space. It's the minds of the future. He who controls the future controls the youth. Socialists has been repeating this line for years. You may not give us socialism in this generation, but by the time your kids come into play, you will be already living in socialism. That's a promise from a socialist in Russia. Forgot his name. But we've been warned countless times how important influencing the youth is. And that's the point of culture. So when Red Pill gets mad that we're speaking out against them, kind of like hitting back at their message, it's because we believe you're not directing society in a proper way that will keep us all benefiting from the current state of things. Red Pill wanted to grow up in a monogamous enforced culture, a religious culture, a moral culture. And then you want to leave the youth with a hedonistic, materialistic, consumeristic culture? I grew up, you want to make the place better because you were there. How is the red pill making society better? That is my question for all the red pillars that's going to disagree with me in the comment section. And I'm fine with you guys disagreeing with me. We don't have to see the world the same way. But as an American, as a nationalist, I think that's the perspective you guys need to recognize when you talking to somebody or you trying to hit at points. How is the red pill helping the nation as a whole? You can tell me how red pill helps men. I understand how it helps men. But how is it going to help society? Because at the end of the day, women outnumber men. If all the women in the world just decided, F it, we're just going to vote for this particular party. All women, no matter their marital status, no matter their religion, all women decide to do this. It becomes a game of war. Okay, you want to vote away all men's rights? All right, we're going to uprise and violently respond against it. All red pill really guarantees is societal collapse. If you take it to the extreme, if red pillars got everything they want. Now, there's some red pillars that are fair. They just say, hey, just like the men's rights movement. Hey, we just want fairness. We just don't want to be screwed when we divorce our wife or when our wife divorces us. We want equal access to our children that we help father. The same argument it takes two to make a child. We want to be, it takes two to parent a child. We want rights to our child. We want men to have the same rights to, how you say this in a nice way? Deny responsibility of our child like the woman does. The only difference is we don't kill our kid when we deny responsibility over our child. That's all. That men's rights perspective of the red pill, fine. But the societal takes, right? The approach of how you deal with the problems of current society is a short-term fix that's going to give us a long-term pain. That's all I'm saying. I know I went on a long monologue, right? But this is the woman problem too, because women are susceptible to manipulation. Sorry. Nothing has changed since Adam and Eve. Women are more prone to temptation. Mentally, spiritually, you see it. All you have to do is give women power. Give any average woman power over you. See how they slash your tires, scratch up your car, damage your property, and then society lets them get away with it, which emboldens them to do even more stuff. A society without any standards, a society without any morality. This is what we're getting. And now men or women are going to be divided politically as we get older. I fear for the dating prospects of my two sons, but I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll try out that arranged marriage Matthew M pointed out. Maybe I'll try that. Who knows? But let's continue with the video. But I think this is an interesting discussion that we need to have. Right? Maybe people will say, oh, you're being a bad actor. But I'm not arguing in bad faith. I'm just saying, look, I'm not demonizing Red Pill. I say, hey, okay, Red Pill noticed some problems. I don't think this is the approach they're taking is a good thing with it. I think telling a group of men that they need to sleep with 50 women before they settle down, I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. Because dating's more intuitive than really it is rational and logical. Everyone knows what, like, just like losing weight, just like working out, everyone knows what they have to do to get it. It's whether you are disciplined to do it or not. That is the problem. But I digress. Let's hear Chan for like 30 more seconds, and then we'll check on Fresh and see if he actually started talking about this. I think he did talk about the thing, but I don't know. Let's see.
The article from Slate explains men and women live on two totally separate political planets right now. It's written that it has long been the case that American women are generally more liberal than American men. But among young Americans, this gender gap has widened into an enormous rift. According to recent Gallup polling, there is a 30-point difference between the number of women age 18 to 30 who self-identify as liberal and the number of men in that demographic who do the same. That is a huge gap. And it says here that's largely because young women have gotten much more liberal while young men have stayed ideologically more consistent, or according to other analyses, even become more conservative and anti-feminist. And I just want to point out here that because...
See, and this is where the Red Pill wins, right? Because they're pointing out a lot of the double standards, a lot of the double, dating standards that women have. Oh, you want a perfect guy, but you come to me sloppy, overweight, not a virgin, right? Women right now in the dating market, they're like, I want a virgin. And men are saying, are you a virgin? No. Okay, then why are you demanding a virgin? AKA, you're demanding perfection, but you yourself are not up to par for perfection. Because feminist culture, liberal ideology, they put in this women's head, boost their ego. Because, men's greatest weakness is their lust. Women's greatest weakness is their vanity. Women love to be told how good they are, how great they are, regardless in reality they actually are or not. Right? So I want to close off. I'm about to call it in like maybe 3 minutes. So we're gonna live watch it. Right? We seen the drama. We seen societal decline. So I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna see where they're at in the discussion about the whole Fresh situation, and let's see what Fresh has to say to himself.
It's fine though.
So.
Yeah, what's it? The Punisher cup?
I got another one.
This Punisher cup is gone.
I punished the Punisher cup.
This the cup is gone, bro. Punisher says, "Hey, yo, Myron, love you, bro." But
they're doing super chats. I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Gets me fucking mad. When people talk shit about Sneeko, etc. If you're my friend, you're my friend. I'm with you, regardless of whether it's convenient or not. You fucking pussies in the chat that say you're Myron, you're loyal to a fault. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yo, one thing I can kind of respect Myron is that he down for his dudes, man. What was that song? I'm down for my dogs. I forgot the song's name. I think it was Stay Scheming by Rick Ross. That's Myron. That's Myron's ish right there. Right? But I can respect that. I can respect him, backing up his friend. But, I don't know. At the end of the day, like he said, he's not religious. He's not moral like that. So, it's hard to really, it's tribal, right? So let's hear more, because
that does not exist in my fucking vocabulary. Loyal to a fault, because you're loyal regardless. The whole definition of loyal is being loyal and sticking by somebody, whether it's convenient or not, to fucking be there. I don't believe in this term loyal to a fault. Okay? And if the fault is death, then guess what? I die with a fucking spine.
Yo. See, I'm trying, like, I guess I picked the wrong timestamp, but I agree with this, right? And this is the bad actors that they say, right? Myron has some, I guess, morality, like principles. I say that's what it's called. Principles, virtue. Hey, even if it's inconvenient to my ends, I'll still accept my conditions. So I'm fine with that. Okay. If Red Pill leads society into destruction, I'm fine with that. Okay. Right. But is this idea of picking, like, the criticism Red Pill has of women is they want their cake and eat it too. But Red Pill is somewhat giving the same kind of advice. You can have your cake and eat it too, but you just have to be in the position to do it. right? Instead of women saying, "Oh no, you girls woke up like this, you woke up like this," instead of feminists telling women they can pick and choose just by waking up and becoming just being women. Red Pill says no, you have to earn that right, and once you have that right, you can do whatever you want with it. That's the only thing Red Pill says. It goes, here's the information, go. While Christianity goes, here's the information, here's what you have to do, this is what you should do, this is why you abide by it, and this is why you don't cross this line. It restricts you. It makes you play in a certain rule set. Red Pill has no rule set. So when people try to say, oh, they don't represent the Red Pill, they're bad actors, I see it as hand wavy, plausible deniability. That's how I see it. But I digress. Let's see. Oh, I froze.
A lot of you motherfuckers
I froze.
No fucking spine. And that's the reason why a lot of you motherfuckers are fat, triple chin, neck bearded, pieces of shit, fucking dorks with no money, and no one fucking respects you. Because you motherfuckers don't stand for nothing.
God.
If I stand with Fresh, I die with Fresh. It is what it is. Okay? It is what it is, you motherfuckers. Oh shit, it's getting shaky. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave. I got 20 fucking real estate properties so I can tell motherfuckers.
Yeah. Uh-oh, I froze. Let me see. Uh-oh, I froze. Sorry about that, guys. I think it's a sign to like close the stream. I didn't hear anything. Maybe I'll just let him speak his freeze. I froze for a bit. I'll let them. I think Myron went off. I don't know if you guys seen it. I don't think you guys seen it, but I'm gonna keep it on this screen because I feel like it's less choppy that way. So let's hear it, and then I'll end off the stream.
You, my net worth is over $6 fucking million. I get money residually. I don't fucking need to do this shit, and I don't need to fucking sell my soul.
Pretty much, he went on a rant saying that he makes enough money, he can do whatever he wants. That's pretty much the synopsis of it. I keep freezing. I know this has not been an enjoyable stream, but I appreciate everything you guys done. I appreciate you guys watching. I try to watch it for you. Look, you guys got the synopsis, man. This is not a demonization of Red Pill, right? I think Red Pill has a place in our public discussion, right? I just believe that when people try to immediately defend the Red Pill just because it's the Red Pill, or try to say, oh, at one hand it's not an ideology, but then at the same hand say, oh no, they're bad actors, which implies that there's an ideology, that there's a principle that you agree with and that you're trying to push on society. Because at the end of the day, all this stuff, all these ideas, we're here to try to influence the future of our country, the future of our society, and the future of the world in a sense. And I believe that all perspectives must be heard. If we're doing that, it shouldn't be like, oh, we got to censor these group of people. They're not allowed to speak their piece because they're bad based on my subjective standard without proving or giving evidence of why they're bad. You just say they're bad because they hurt your feelings, because you perceive them as anti-woman, because they criticize you. Who knows why? But, I digress. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I hope you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you guys on next week on Live with Kenny. I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like on the way out, and I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Peace.